So what do you expect me to say?
Let's get him!
I know you feel endless way. Coming after you.
Hey there, what's up internet? My name is BlackLightAttack and today we are playing some CoD 2 on the PC. This is actually my first time ever playing CoD 2 on the PC. I did play it quite a few times way back in the day, back before I even had an Xbox. I believe this was a launch title for the Xbox 360 and it was sort of one of those games that like kept the system afloat in its early days. And my friend had it and I used to go over his house and we would play the baller ass split screen multiplayer, which was always fun. And gotta say, it's a way different game on PC. Tons of mods and stuff. There's still a somewhat active community that plays it. Some of the servers are fucking terrible, like Christian snipers. Not only are you being spammed about Jesus all the time, but the maps are just terrible and campy and not fun. But this was a really fun lobby. This was an all bolt action, no scopes kind of lobby. You can only choose 3 of the bolt action rifles. You weren't allowed to use a scope, and it was capture the flag. And now I don't know if this was a stock version of capture the flag back in the day, but if you grab your flag after it's been captured, you actually have to physically take it back to the flag stand. It doesn't just auto reset. So that was pretty damn interesting. And I had a lot of fun with it. I don't go ham or anything. I'm not super great at it because again, it is the first time playing, and I'm still. You can see that I keep confusing my teammates for enemies, but other than that, it's just fun to watch. So this is going to be the video where I answer your Q&A questions. I had a bunch of people ask questions on the YouTubes, and now I'm going to pick a couple of questions and answer them. I'm just going to try to go through them as quickly as possible, so let's try to keep up. I said ask me anything. Someone asked anything. Yes. What's your stance on gun control? Stand with your feet far apart, put the stock in your shoulder, and don't lean too close to the weapon or the recoil is going to hit you in the face. Are you going to play more TF2? No, I'm never going to play that game again in my life. Are you going to do another Nuzlocke run? No, probably not, because Pokemon is the devil. What's your opinion on System of a Down? Are you answering no to this question? Fuck you. I'm Batman. Good for you. About 1 billion of you asked what's your favorite Pokemon? Munchlax. Who is your favorite character in video game history? Sid Highwind. What did you go to college for? To waste money and time. What is your favorite gaming system? PC. Who inspired you to do YouTube? Sam5000, Hutch, CNanners, John, and a couple others that I can't remember right now. Who is your favorite Pokemon? Golurk. Where do you download Pokemon emulators? The internet. Are you a virgin? No. What is your favorite Pokemon? Stunfisk. Can I have your hat? No. Any advice for a total noob that wants to get into competitive Pokemon? Go to smogon.com. Have you ever gotten into a fight and had your ass kicked? No. What is your favorite video that you have uploaded? I love all my children equally. What is the first game you played? The first game I remember playing is Sonic the Hedgehog. If you could have sexual intercourse with any Pokemon, which one would it be? Stunfisk. How would you compare the different communities of the different games you have uploaded? TF2, Pokemon, CoD. I was still a small channel when I was uploading CoD and everybody was pretty cool back then. The entire CoD community is kind of fucking retarded. My Pokemon fans seem to be my most immature and oblivious of fans, no offense. My TF2 crowd seems to be super focused on KBMod memes. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Gyarados. When can you stream again? Whenever I upgrade my router and my motherboard. Are you an anime fan, and if so, what are some of your favorites? I wouldn't call myself an anime fan because that would suggest that I like anime just for being anime. I think most anime is shit, but I think certain animes are pretty fucking awesome. Some of my favorites include Cowboy Bebop and Gurren Lagann. Do you shave your pubes? No. Why Let's Play Final Fantasy? Because I'm afraid I won't be able to do justice to my favorite game of all time. Would you rather go blind for 5 years or deaf for 10 years? I'd rather go blind for 5 years because then I would get a dog to lead me around everywhere and that'd be sweet. When you were in high school, did you go to many parties? No, I went to one when I was a senior. I got really sick and I threw up everywhere. When will you stop talking about your dick? Probably never. What college did you attend and what was your major? I went to Bloomsburg and I majored in English. What are your opinions on the legalization and consumption of marijuana? I don't smoke, but I think it should be legal. What's the deal with your sleeping disorder? I have delayed sleep phase syndrome. It means I go to bed late and I wake up late. I get tired naturally around 7 in the morning, and I tend to wake up naturally around 3 in the afternoon. It's not an excuse being lazy. I have an offset biological clock. Would you say scrap banking is a good idea? Scrap banking refers to exchanging a whole bunch of items for a bunch of scrap metal in TF2, but at a reduced price. I would say it's very much worth it if you don't have the patience to trade. It's also a really good idea if you idle and have a lot of spare items to just trade away. It's also a good idea to do scrap banking yourself if you have the patience to sell the items one at a time. It's beneficial for everybody. Would you ever consider doing a collaborative Let's Play? I never rule anything out. Will you make a tutorial to explain how to IV train Pokemon? God, no. What do you think about religion? I generally think it's a mistake, but I think people are free to practice whatever they want to practice. I'm still an atheist. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Krogunk. Have you ever been recognized by someone in public? No. How do you think you would react if someone did? I would constantly worry that I was a massive disappointment. What were the events that led from your house to living in your parents' house? I never had my own house aside from when I went to college. I never moved out because I'm poor, and I'm working towards getting an apartment sometime soon. Did you get Uncharted for PS3 like you said? No, I didn't. Do you play Xbox? No. Kingdom Hearts fan. I kinda liked the first game. I thought all the other ones were shit. What do you actually do as a job? I sit at a computer all day and wait for alarms to come in from home security systems, either burglary or fire alarms. When somebody sets off the alarm, I call the house, and if they're not there, I dispatch the police or the fire department. Boxers or briefs? Boxers. Pro-life or pro-choice? I think abortion should be mandatory. Favorite genre of music? I don't really have one. What is the hardest thing you have to do/deal with daily? Getting up for a job I hate. What's the hardest thing you've ever done? Losing my best friend of 15 years to the only girl I've ever loved. Do you know how to fix the lag on Pokemon Showdown? No, I don't know how to use it. Never used it before. Are there any upcoming games you're looking forward to? Dishonored. What is your favorite book? If I had to pick one, World War Z. If you could be one YouTuber besides yourself, who'd you be? APL Fisher so I could kiss Mr. Sark. Who is your favorite philosopher and why? Voltaire because he was a secular man in a very religious time. Who's your favorite Pokemon? Bayonet. If you had your sleeping disorder growing up, how'd you wake up for school? All throughout high school, I got 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. Who do you watch on YouTube? Probably the only person whose every video I watch is Pyrotaz. Other than that, just going down my list, APL Fisher, Dexterity Bonus, / Press Hard to Continue, also known as Dodger, Guard Rabbit, Incredible Orb, Dan aka Nipnops aka Infinite Sad, John Tron, Jugs, the KB Mod Channel, Nikon Punch, Jared Garrettson, SourceFed, Stabby, John, Donkey, and Brandon from KB Mod. You mentioned that you were a fan of the Nuzlocke comic, but do you pay any attention to some of the fan-made ones? Yes, I really liked Robots Run Through. Romantic life? Non-existent. Why the hell did you decide to do Pokemon on TGN after being known as a TF2 player? Cause bitch, I do what I want. How would you kill Nick Fenton? With a pillow. I'd smother him. Have you ever played League of Legends, and if so, did you enjoy it? Yes, I have played it. I played it for a while. I'm not very good at it, but I think it's a good game. Favorite subreddits? Funny, Pokemon, TF2, Imaginary Monsters, and Shitty Ask Science. What do you think distinguishes yourself from other YouTubers who post gaming videos and Let's Plays? Nothing. I think I'm an unoriginal turd in a sea of unoriginal turds. What does your username mean? BlackLightAttack is a reference to a 30 Rock episode. It was actually the name of the episode, and it referred to a point in which Jack Donaghy, the character that Alec Baldwin plays, suspected Liz Lemon of having an affair with a man who is covered in paint all the time that glows under a black light. So he yells BlackLightAttack and hits a button on the wall, which turns on some black lights and reveals that she is indeed having an affair. It was a really hilarious scene, and when I first started my channel, I thought I would yell it all the time as sort of a battle cry. It didn't really turn out that way, but it sort of just stuck. What was your favorite / least favorite teacher? My favorite teacher was in high school, and his name was Mr. Leventhal. He was my English teacher, and he was absolutely fantastic. My least favorite was Mrs. Fogarty, who was a math teacher who was so bad that about 65% of our class failed. Can you play Super Mario 3? Yes, I am physically capable of playing that game. What's your favorite Pokemon? Heracross. Do you like root beer? Hell yeah. Favorite non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to? Cat Fancy. How did you meet the KB Mod guys? I sent them an article that I wrote just in my spare time about 10 things I'd like to see added to Skyrim, and I think Bob contacted me saying that he really liked it, and that and then they invited me to come aboard after speaking with me and playing games with me a few times. What do you think of the new Valve console idea? They actually confirmed that that's not happening, so it's moot. What's the most trouble you've been in? I was once arrested for trespassing and disorderly conduct when I was a teenager for climbing on top of a dollar store so that me and my friends could use a 3-man water balloon launcher to launch potatoes. Final Fantasy VII is your favorite game, but what is your second favorite Final Fantasy game? Final Fantasy VIII, but nostalgia probably has a giant factor in that. What is your favorite system to play games on excluding the PC? PlayStation 3. If you could be a gym leader or Elite Four member, what type would you specialize in? Ghost type. Have you ever lost someone who you were close to? Not really, not to death, no. Pepsi or cola? I assume you mean Pepsi or Coke, and neither. I don't drink caffeine or high fructose corn syrup. Are you a girl? As far as you know. What do you think is the future of gaming? Heavy motion control, 3D, etc., etc. I don't think any of those things are really going to catch on. I think as soon as they figure out virtual reality, that might be the next big thing. With the interesting games like CoD dying out, what do you see happening to channels like Xbox Ahoy who only post CoD? Xbox Ahoy specifically is a very talented individual, and I have no doubt in my mind that he could find something else to play and still garner interest because he's just extremely good at what he does. Everybody else is going to have to adapt or die. What is it with fedoras that make you adore them oh so much? I originally bought my first fedora because I had an obsession with the Blues Brothers. What did you think about being as a kid? An artist. I really liked to draw when I was about in 3rd grade, and I was pretty good at it. Unfortunately, my skill at drawing stayed at about the level of an advanced 3rd grader. Favorite musical act? Flogging Molly. Do you still record at night after work? Yes. Do you love your job? No. If you could live inside of anybody's PC, whose PC would it be? The guy who made a PC case out of a dead raccoon. What's your favorite Pokemon generation? I guess 4. When did you get your tattoo and why? My first tattoo was my birthday present when I was 18, and it's a crab on my right shoulder blade. I got it because I was an idiot and believed in astrological symbols, and I was a very stereotypical Cancer, the astrological symbol, not the disease, and I really liked the idea of being a very stereotypical Cancer, so I got it to symbolize that. I don't exactly regret it though, because even though I no longer believe in astrology, I think crabs are pretty fucking awesome animals. My second tattoo was the Final Fantasy VII opening screen with the cursor over new game. I got that one because it's my favorite game of all time. It always has been, it always will be. Every time I play it, it's amazing. And the cursor is over new game to symbolize new beginnings and trying out new things. If you could have any job, what would it be? Fluffer. Do you love me? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What kind of deck did you run in Magic? I usually ran a Goblin deck. Do you ever play TF2 with your fans, or would you? Usually if I am online and you are in my Steam group, you can join me for TF2, so go ahead, I won't mind. What's your favorite funny movie? If I had to pick one, I guess Beer Fest. And finally, most underrated game in your opinion. I don't think there's really such thing as an underrated game anymore, because with the internet and everybody connecting, no matter how shitty a game is, you can find a giant fan base for it somewhere. But going just based on that, I have 2. The first one is Psychonauts, because even though everybody seems to love it, it didn't sell worth shit, and it really should have because it was an amazing game. The other one would be Final Fantasy VIII, because it is generally surrounded by much better games, and people tend to discount it immediately because the storyline was kind of batshit bananas insane. Despite that, though, I thought the characters were really well fleshed out, and I seem to be one of the few people who actually enjoyed the draw system. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the Q&A. Thank you to everybody who submitted a question, even those of you whose questions I did not answer. And I hope that gave you sort of a good idea of who I am, what my interests are, and what I hold dear, mostly my hat. So if you guys liked the video, go ahead and feel free to like it. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more. My name is BlackLightAttack. You guys take it easy.